Well, I've been looking forward to this chat for a few days. Well, one's happy with the result, one is not. Geez, I wonder which one it might be. None other than the wonderful Bronwyn Bishop, who, well, you would know from the start.
I did.
When I'm saying it's 60-40, 70-30, these things, you were certain all the way through. You picked the mood. Linda, you thought the mood was with you. Of course, Linda Scott, councillor in the City of Sydney, you thought the mood was with you. It was for months, then it ended up flipping and turning. I want to ask you both this question here. A lot of focus now seems to be on the other two parts of the statement from the heart, that being treaty, that being Makarrata. Now, both of those things don't require votes. They can all happen in and around the Parliament. Linda Burney was asked about this today. This is what she said.
Is the Minister still committed to treaty and truth-telling?
The request for a voice to Parliament came from Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. That's why we took it to a referendum. Of course, we respect the result and accept the decision of the Australian people. Our focus has always been on getting better results for Indigenous Australians. I think that's something that we all agree on.
So, let's be clear. Australia absolutely, positively, completely rejected the first of the three things that were there. But by extension, does that mean that the other two fall as well?
Well, let's focus. This is the 26 pages, which I've read. Let's go to the bit that talks about treaty, where it says that, very simply, a treaty could include a proper say in decision-making, the establishment of a truth commission, reparations, a financial settlement such as seeking a percentage of GDP, the resolution of land, water and resources issues, recognition of authority and customary law. The voice was merely a mechanism to have an entity at the federal level with which they thought they could then negotiate. You cannot have a treaty with yourself. We are a single nation. And Makarrata means agreement making, not the rubbish that the Prime Minister went on with today. I mean, Albo the Trot, seriously, all he ever was good at was, I just want to fight Tories. He is a hopeless leader, now badly damaged, and you watch the knives come out for him.
Yeah, I mean, Linda, again, very obviously, we know what the question was, but we also know what the debate was. We also know what the debate wasn't, and 60% of Australia was very clear about voice. There wasn't anything on a ballot paper about truth and treaty, but it is all interlinked. Do you think that this government in this term can continue on in a path when 1/3, a fairly important part of that third, has been so comprehensively rejected?
Well, look, first and foremost, I think it's important to call out that, of course, the referendum was lost, but that doesn't take away from the fact that many communities, and in particular Indigenous communities, are hurting. I spent Sunday with much of my Indigenous community in Redfern. They're really upset about the result and finding it hard to decipher, and as a result have asked for a week to just recover, rest and process. So I think it is right to, at the very least, allow Indigenous Australians to have a break and regroup and have a think about what they would like government to do for them. This is the whole point. Peter Dutton, when he spoke on Saturday night, spoke about the fact that he was going to go away and design the policy with his parliamentary colleagues and with Senator Nampijinpa Price. The whole point of listening to Indigenous people and having them decide for themselves and support a government that helps them to achieve their objectives is that they should have a say in the first place. And can I say this? Everybody agreed during the referendum campaign that we have to close the gap.
Sure.
Right? If there is not a focus on that, if there's not funding for
Precisely.
that, then that will really be disappointing.
Of course,
that's exactly what Jacinta Price asked for in the Senate.
But that's the thing. Jacinta tried that yesterday.
And the Labor Party and the Greens said absolutely no.
No hacking motions in the Senate.
There is no.
Respect,
no, I'm sorry.
Are going to create a proper outcome for
Linda,
Indigenous Australians.
It was an absolutely showing how the Labor Party does not care.
Bronwyn,
look, 278
had millions of hacking motions in the Senate that you ignored.
278,000 people of Aboriginal heritage live in New South Wales.
Yes.
The largest number live in the Central Coast. These are electorates that voted against the proposition. These are people who live in houses with kids, go to school, go to jobs.
Bronwyn, in Lingiari,
Where the real need is,
in
and it is
Lingiari,
not getting through, is in Lingiari.
21
where
of the
the violence
22
against
remote-
children happens.
In Lingiari,
where
21 of the 22
Jacinta
remote
Price
polling booths
lives
voted
it
yes.
and knows it better, you or I or Paul or anybody else. She's lived with it. With her family, she knows it.